Welcome back to another video. My name is Dr. Champagne, DSPLAYER Deron Simpson. My phrase is keep it champagne, champion mentality, ability to adapt, seek knowledge for self, inspire in spirit, speech and behavior are to be of high quality or best version of self. Today, it's going to be a relatively short message. I really don't have too much to say today. But I will do my best to just talk to you about progress, momentum, and maturity. When it comes to progress, you can really do a lot of work, spend a lot of hours and time on stuff and never really see the fruits of your labor, or you don't see the abundance that you want. You don't see the fruits of your labor expeditiously, or not even in a quick manner. You may not fathom what is progress in that season of your life, or seasons of your life rather. So next to progress, I put rest. I guess do your best to rest your mind, your body, your spirit. For progress, man, do what you can and rest and try to just make sure that you're mentally clear as much as you can. Momentum. It is vital to gain momentum about your confidence, what you do, how you do it, why you're doing it. This momentum or speed is vital just to have consistency, to have that continuity or discipline, for success or for whatever you're trying to grow and groom in your life. And the last one is maturity, where things come out of the progress, out of the momentum of all the work and things that you've laid. Does it mature? Does it bloom and blossom into what you expected it to? And when it does, are you cruising towards pruning? Are you cruising towards making sure you can get the most for what you've done for the product? A big thing too about resting your mind and your spirit and just being healthy as much as you can, it's in your day-to-day life experiences. I don't think, your day-to-day life experience, your quality of life is so vital to the point where that can make or break you in a lot of categories, not just, your health physically, but emotionally, spiritually. Your day-to-day life experience is unlike many people. And although there may be similar things, that overlap, but for the most part, going to work is not just going to work for some people. Some people may go to work at a location like McDonald's, or some people may go to a location that's a Fortune 500 or 300 company. You just never know what people are dealing with and their progress, momentum, and maturity in these areas of their business, job, and then let alone their actual, personal life. And a lot of this stuff, it bleeds together. Yeah, if you're not careful, but it bleeds together because, like I say, it's your life. And when you have experiences that are gargantuan, when you have day-to-day life that seems to be a struggle, that seems to be hard to get out of bed in the morning, or hard to convince yourself that I'm succeeding, because you may not feel prosperous in your stage. You may not feel abundant in what you're doing due to not seeing fruit, due to not having others to really work at this collectively. Whether that's an actual job whether that's community, whether that's hobbies. For those people who are growing their best self, who are doing their best to mature, their best to figure out what works for them stress management wise, what works best for them and how they take care of themselves, develop checkpoints throughout your day, throughout your week. Develop things on your, or put things on your calendar that you want to do, that you want to see, places that you want to go throughout your day-to-day life. Do your best to schedule this in lunch break, after work, before work. As soon as I get off here, I'm going to go here. And this way, eventually, you'll, even if you only do that for 1 month, that 1 month may give you a better day-to-day life experience as compared to just go to work, come home. As compared to go to work, come home, quick shower, go to another job. You know, lots of times it's, you know, you gotta have space to live. And not a lot of times, just in general, you gotta have space to live, to grow, to be. And developing your best self is not a community project. However, in developing your best self, like I said about the job and stuff, things bleed over together. And when you in certain industries, you do have to know what's standard practice, or why is it standard practice, or you know, what happens if we do this and not that. And it's good to figure out and test your environment and test how you can remain healthy in certain environments. How do you remain sane and in your confidence time and time again, not in worry, not in dreariness, moodiness. Be careful of being around people who see you coming up in life and they only want your money. And I say money just meaning time, meaning energy, meaning attention. They're not wanting to energize you to keep going. They're not, and they may can't help it. That's another thing too. They may cannot help it. Some people only have the energy to say, hey, we doing this, you got 1,000 to come here with us, all of a sudden. And it's like, not saying you don't want to do that, but what other calls can we have together besides that vacation? What other support do I have from you besides turn up? Over time, these are taxing asks. Over time, through maturity and momentum and progress, as we mentioned, you can find yourself working backwards on yourself, but forward for someone else. You could find yourself working backwards on yourself and forward towards someone else. Basically, you putting them first before you put you first, second and third. There is a lot of change going on in the world. And the change that's happening is, you know, it's not new changes. It's not new. It's a change where people are turning stones and flipping stones to figure out, what can I get out of something? What can I get out of this? Who is going to allow me to use and abuse them? Who's going to allow me to not say excuse me or have any type of respect or rapport or whatever the word may be? Being able to identify who these people are in your surroundings or circle or however it may be is very, very important, because you can involuntarily be around and hang around people who always put you in mess. They may call themselves friend, family, I don't know, you know, the dynamic, But you got to be careful, because if you're trying to do anything great, trying to do anything of value, these fun people will wreck your life having fun on their time. And you will wreck your life being on their time. And if they ever get on your time, you will improve their life, because you are already in progress, have rest, momentum, speed, maturity, and you're at cruising altitude. The champagne comes out at a certain height. You can take your seatbelt off. Who's hungry? And it's good to have just that type of knowledge to understand the process, the momentum, the maturity to cruise further, the day-to-day life experience need to be of quality. And you have to give yourself that quality. Keep it champagne. You have to give yourself healthy thoughts. Keep it champagne. You have to be in your natural flow state of Christ, of life, intuitive nature. And ultimately, you will be heading towards fulfillment, heading towards satisfaction, headed towards a place that you haven't been before. And it may hurt. You will have to remove a lot of people. But in the process of your evolution, in the process of becoming, you will not be, you will not feel like you did the wrong thing by taking care of you. You will not feel like you wasted time, resources. We're in a state time and time again where you have to fight for every little thing. And when I say fight, I mean to get breathing room from poverty, the middle class bunch of poverty, to be in a clear space of actual growth. And this is more mentality than money. But even out of all of the mentality, you still need some money. And out of all the money and mentality, you need maturity. You know, this is not me giving answers. As much as I've just said everything I said, I'm not trying to, sway anybody or do anything like that. This is really a lot of free thinking. But ultimately, it's just to inspire someone or encourage someone to rest, to keep going as much as you can, and understand that you're never gonna be enough to people at all. And you shouldn't try to be enough for people other than yourself. You shouldn't try to be enough for mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, and you gotta be enough for yourself. You gotta look at yourself in that mirror every day and be happy with what you see, with what you're growing. The person that's, unfolding before your eyes. And like I say, don't expect anybody to understand your story. They may sympathize, empathize, read the book, bought the t-shirt, but take stock of the work that you do. Take stock of the value that you're producing. And don't let nobody come in your space or interview you or email you, however they try to do, because the devil tricky. Do not allow them to try to tear you down and you do not fight back. Do not allow things to really irk you as much as it will. It will. Just do your best to try to separate yourself at all costs. Put yourself on the top shelf. Keep it champagne. Because if you don't put yourself out that way, a lot of times, regardless of how good you do it, coming to, whatever you do, a lot of times it's a buddy, friend, I put you here, take him, put that. It's just a system that is used for a certain reason. But my message is progress, momentum, and maturity, elevating your day-to-day life experiences, doing your best to stay sane, doing your best to stay calm, doing your best to smile. Smile, be kind, be cool, don't overdo it. Let the dummies crash out like they always do. But anyway, I done said a lot, and I'm about to let you guys have it, man. If you haven't already, please check out my book, $2 Way, available on Apple Books and Amazon. The link is in my description. Keep it champagne.